Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hometown Kitchen. Today I'm with Amy Holmes. Hey Amy.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to get cooking.
Me too.
What are we making today?
We're gonna do baked ziti with sausage.
That sounds delicious.
It's very delicious.
Okay, can we start by you telling me what all goes into this recipe?
Yes, we're gonna use crushed tomatoes,
Okay.
chicken broth. You can do dry red wine if you want to.
Oh, okay.
But chicken broth is usually what I use. Italian sausage, garlic, ricotta, crushed red pepper, mozzarella, onion, bacon, and ziti.
Well, with this spread, it cannot be bad.
No, it's gonna be delicious.
Okay, well, how should we get started? Would you like for me to preheat the oven?
Yes, go ahead and start at 350.
Okay.
We're gonna start first with our bacon in the skillet. So
Great. That's for you. So is this a family favorite recipe?
this, yes and no.
Okay.
My girls won't eat it.
They won't?
No, but my dad and my husband like it, and so that's really the only person.
I'm sure they will learn to like it.
Yes, as they get older, every girl loves carbs and cheese. So
Absolutely. And is this something y'all typically make around the holidays?
Well, yeah, it's not your after work meal because there is a lot of prep and it does take a lot of time. So it's really going to be a weekend special occasion. I always pull it out for Father's Day, my dad's birthday.
Oh.
Times where it's okay to spend a little extra time.
That's sweet. Yeah, and it looks like it makes quite a hearty meal.
Yes, and it's gonna feed 8 adults.
Oh, that's great. So if you take it on a special occasion, do you normally need to make 2?
No, because like I said, the girls don't eat it, so it's really gonna be just the adults. So
More for you.
yes, and not that children wouldn't like it. It's just that my children, if it's not a chicken nugget or a French fry, it's not going down.
A less refined palate.
Yes.
Well, what are we going to be adding to the bacon once that's cooked?
Once the bacon gets going, then we're gonna add our garlic.
Okay.
And then once the garlic gets going, we're gonna do onion.
Perfect. So this is all going to be part of the sauce?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna work. The sauce is what takes the longest to prepare.
Has all the flavor though.
Yes. So we're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of garlic.
Okay.
Now you can do 3 cloves, but if you have the minced garlic, it's just gonna be 1.5 teaspoons or 3 cloves.
And the mince is so much easier.
I'm just shortcuts. If there's a shortcut, I'm gonna take it.
This already
We're
smells
gonna let that cook for a little bit and
Okay.
get it going before we add the onion.
Perfect.
Because we're gonna layer the flavor.
Oh yes, and I can already smell the garlic. Yes. So is this a family recipe or did you think of this?
No, growing up, Italian was always my favorite. It wasn't really my mom's. We didn't really eat Italian a lot. So after I was grown, before Pinterest, I found it in a magazine.
Good for you, the original.
It was actually, have you ever heard of a magazine? It's like a paper and they bind it. And that's where
familiar.
old people used to find their recipes.
Oh, wow.
Other than cookbooks, yeah.
An archive.
I tore it, I'll actually show you the original recipe that I tore out of, I think, a Southern Living. We should probably frame it, or maybe a shadow box.
Oh my gosh.
People having
a vintage recipe.
back when they were printed.
Well, how long have you been cooking this?
Probably 8 years.
Oh, okay.
It's been about 8 years.
So it's perfected.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is anything ever perfected? In the beginning, I didn't cook it as often because I was still new to cooking in general, pretty much, and I didn't know the shortcuts, and I was intimidated by it. But once you start figuring out shortcuts and things to make it easier, it's really just not that intimidating anymore. You get used to it.
I'm glad you said that because I've been a little intimidated of pasta dishes in general. I don't make them a lot. I don't know how often to cook them, for how many people, what will it actually serve. So this is nice practice.
Yeah, this is gonna feed 8 adults, and it's very heavy, and that's why.
Yeah, this is going to be an indulgent meal.
Yes. This is not something that you would want to eat if you were worried about calories or carbs.
Right. And another shortcut would be, if you pre-chopped the bacon, I assume you could go ahead and throw that in. Or does it really need to cook with the onion and with the garlic?
It really doesn't have to. I have been known to, if I was in a hurry, to not even cook bacon.
Okay.
But to buy the bacon pieces, not bacon bits, and not pre-cooked bacon,
Okay.
because then you're gonna have to turn around and chop it, and that's really not saving you a whole lot of time.
Right.
I'll buy the bacon pieces, the chunks, and I'll dump it in there and just get it warm.
Yeah,
and
that's
throw
a good
the garlic in
idea.
with it. So I've done it that way too. Of course, if you're doing it for a special occasion like I would for birthday or Father's Day, then I'm gonna take the time to do it right, just because I feel like it, I don't know,
Makes it more
give
special.
them love.
Yeah, absolutely. You can taste that, I'm sure.
I'm thinking that we're ready for the onion. If you want to
Okay.
dump that in
Is
there.
it the whole?
The whole onion.
Okay. Have you ever put any other veggies in this mix?
I have not. I'm typically a follow the rules kind of gal. When it comes to pasta dishes, I don't veer. Now, if this was, just me making a vegetable with a meat, then I would get creative.
Yep.
But
I was just thinking maybe some bell peppers would be good.
it couldn't hurt. I don't think that it would hurt at all.
I'll try it so you can still play by the
Just
rules.
let me know.
I will.
Rebel. All right, we're gonna let that cook down. The onion doesn't have to be translucent. We're
Okay.
just gonna get it really good so that the crunch is gone.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add our sausage.
Perfect. And the sausage is going to go straight in there, or do we need to cook it first?
No,
and then
it's
add?
gonna go straight in.
Okay.
It's just gonna add, they're gonna help each other. The
Perfect.
flavors are gonna work together, and we're not gonna drain the grease. There's really not gonna be that much grease in it. We're only using a pound. And so once we get that mixed together and then we add the tomatoes and stuff, you kind of want that.
That's the flavor. Yeah, that looks great. Do your girls ever cook with you?
Yes. They won't eat the finished product, but they're all about helping.
They like the process.
Yes. They love to hand me things. Caroline's the only one old enough to chop things.
Okay.
But the other girls, they like to be involved. The only thing is that when it's all said and done, nobody helps clean it up. So I don't
You got to work on that.
figure it out how to boost that.
It's bound to be tough to make cleaning as fun as cooking as a parent.
Yeah, because I don't even want to do it.
Yeah.
So
They've seen your dread.
they see the dread. Okay, this is almost ready.
Okay.
I want you to see how the onions, you can tell the difference.
Yes.
Now, this is different than what you typically would do with bacon. Usually when you cook bacon, you really want a good crispiness,
Yes.
but that's not what we're looking for here. We're just looking for somewhat done. We're just trying to get the flavor out of it.
Okay. Well, let me know when you're ready for the sausage. I can grab that.
Okay, well, we're ready.
Perfect. And the whole pack is
The
going
whole
in.
pack is going in. There's usually a liner on the bottom too, so
Okay.
don't get too brave and dump it. If you do, just dump it straight and we'll peel it out.
Do you mind if I use this?
That's perfectly fine.
And what kind of sausage do you use?
I do the Italian ground.
Okay.
You definitely don't want to grab breakfast sausage. It is not the same flavor.
I wondered if people could incorporate a spicier sausage if they wanted a little kick.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can play with it. Some people don't even want sausage. They would want to do ground beef. But I like the flavor of the sausage in Italian dishes. It's different. While that's going, we've got shredded cheese already at home. Like I said, when I'm not doing shortcuts, I like to
Actually shred it.
Yeah. But since that, just to save time, while that's going, we can go ahead and measure out what we're going to need for our noodles and
Okay.
for the rest of the sauce, just so when
Perfect.
we're ready for it, we can just dump it.
Yeah, that sounds great. And we actually had some noodles already ready, so I'll bring those over.
We can go ahead and open this, because the next step that we're going to use in our sauce is going to be the chicken broth, the crushed red pepper. We're going to put a little bit of salt, and then we're going to do the crushed tomato.
Perfect. And that'll be going directly into the baking pan?
No, that's all going to go into the sauce.
Got it.
And then we're going to let that go for a few more minutes, and then we're going to put the noodles and cheese in the bottom.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to put the sauce on
Sauce goes
top,
on
and then
top.
finish with cheese.
Got it.
Now, about the point that we add the broth is when we would normally add fresh basil if we were using it.
Okay.
But I could not find fresh basil. So we went with a mom shortcut, which is I found crushed tomato that had basil in it.
Love that. You have certainly learned some shortcuts. I'm impressed.
I went with the true recipe for this, but when I'm at home, I always double the cheese. If it says a cup, I do 2 cups.
Yep.
You really, in my family, you cannot have too much cheese.
And if it's going on top too, you're gonna need a little extra.
Yes. So we're gonna take 1 cup of mozzarella.
Okay.
And we're gonna take 1 cup of ricotta. We're gonna mix those together, and then we're gonna put them in the bowl with the noodles. So let's just go straight in that glass
Okay.
bowl.
You want the noodles in first?
Yes. You want your noodles to still be warm because you want the heat from the noodles to melt the cheese.
Yes, these are still
Otherwise, it's
pretty
just going
warm.
to be gloopy. Is gloopy a word?
I think it's a perfect word. It's a scientific word, I'm sure.
Well, if it's not in the dictionary now, it will be after this goes viral. I mean,
My thoughts exactly.
okay. You could measure this or you could eyeball it.
Okay, I like your style.
Because we're not, there we go.
Nice.
I like that. Now the ricotta cheese you do want to get, you can buy an 8 ounce, in which case you would just dump the whole thing.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't like ricotta. You will in this recipe, just trust me. Like it doesn't stand out. There's so much flavor from the sauce that you really need this, so don't skip it.
I feel like it kind of helps bind everything.
It does.
Ricotta.
I think that if you try to use something else, you're gonna really mess up the flavor. So even if you're not a huge fan, try it.
It'll be worth it.
Trust the process.
Exactly. So you want to make sure it's even enough to spread, right? Over
Right.
the noodles. That makes sense.
All right, we'll go ahead and spray our pan. While you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and add our broth and our crushed red pepper.
Perfect. And can I go ahead and put the noodles in?
Yes.
Okay.
Once again, I'm not measuring it. I'm eyeballing this crushed red pepper here.
I trust your eyeballs.
And if you like heat and you can handle heat, you can put a little more. Just be careful with it.
Yeah.
It can get hot fast.
Yeah, I'm sure that's more of a personal preference. All right, noodles have landed.
All right, well, our sauce, we have all the ingredients now. So now we're just gonna mix this together. Let it simmer about 3 to 6 minutes, just to let the flavor get in there. Oh, it smells so good.
It smells delicious. I would just eat the sauce with a spoon.
The sauces, you can. You can. This is about the time where my husband creeps into the kitchen and gets a taste and tells me if it's good. He's just gonna let me know. He's just helping me out.
I'm sure he has never said it's anything but good.
No, he hasn't. He's a smart man.
He is.
Okay, so really not long, 3 to 6 minutes,
Okay.
and that's gonna be good to go. Then we're gonna just take that, pour it over the noodle and cheese.
And that'll help melt down all of that cheese.
And then we're gonna top it with Parmesan and the rest of our mozzarella.
Okay, wow.
You can, like I said, I double everything. I typically try to go true on the Parmesan, but when it comes to mozzarella, we're just gonna coat it.
It can't hurt.
It can't hurt.
I mean, it's mozzarella.
Okay, this looks like it's ready, so we're gonna go ahead.
Perfect.
Turn that off.
And we will just be spooning that over the noodles?
We're gonna spoon. You could pour, but you're gonna get a splatter and it's gonna be hot, so I always, and I want it to be even.
Okay.
So I just kind of ease it.
I'll let you take
There you go.
over.
You're doing
I'm just
good.
gonna start
No, you're doing
spreading
great.
it around.
You're doing perfect.
Oh my gosh, this smells so good. And really, the prep work, it wasn't
that
hard.
bad. It's an intimidating list.
It is.
It's really just because there's so many ingredients in the sauce.
I think
And
you've
they're
helped
easy
me not be afraid to make pasta dishes.
Don't be afraid. The worst thing that can happen is it's not good and you throw it away.
But how could this mix not be good? Even if it doesn't look quite right.
Worst
I think
case
it would be
scenario,
good.
your sauce is gross. Just put extra cheese on it.
Cheese is the ultimate fixer.
It is.
All right, how are we looking over
You're
here?
looking good.
Okay. And I'm just filling in the gaps, making sure everything is warm.
You're doing a good job.
And if you have extra sauce in that pan, I assume you just pour it on in?
I do. We're going to use the whole thing. Because it can be, pasta dishes can be dry. Especially if you're going to overbake it or try to reheat it. So you want to
That's
get
true.
all of it.
You want a little bit extra. Okay, perfect. Oh my gosh, yum. I think it looks pretty even.
Yeah, it looks good. You did a good job.
You are a good teacher.
We're going to go with our Parmesan now. Make sure you wash your hands first.
Yes, a chef's best tool, clean hands.
I use my hands a lot. Don't go overboard, but I do like some cheese, Katie.
I mean, look at it. It's already melting in, so we're gonna need more.
Now you can go ahead. You can do a half a cup.
Okay. But you eyeball this?
Or you can go until it looks like what you want it to look like.
What would you do, Amy?
I would put a thick layer all the way across.
Uh-huh. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, we don't want this to go to waste.
This will not go to waste.
Oh, that looks so good.
That's perfect.
And that'll just get nice and brown. And that's the part you want to watch in the oven, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to put it in 350, 25 to 30 minutes. The edges should be bubbling when you take it out.
Okay. Well, Amy, this is ready to try, and I cannot wait. What do you say?
I say let's do it.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you for teaching me how to make this. Oh my gosh, I got all the topping. Did I leave you any?
You're good.
Cheers. Mmm, that's delicious.
It is delicious.
Are you happy with it?
I'm happy with it. Are you happy?
I love it. Thank you so much for showing us how to do
You're
this
welcome.
today. And we'll see you guys next time in the HomeTown kitchen.